Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I am your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator triangle, budget, save, and pay off debt to help you build a spending plan that fits your life, grow your savings with purpose, and knock out debt with confidence. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to pause and honor the significance of this date, September 11th. Today marks a moment in our nation's history that changed so many lives forever. We remember the nearly 3,000 lives lost, the families forever impacted, and the first responders and everyday heroes who showed us the true meaning of courage, unity, and resilience. If you're listening and this day brings up memories or emotions, know that you're not alone. Whether you were directly affected or you simply remember where you were that morning, today is a day to reflect, to honor, and to recommit ourselves to building stronger communities, financially, emotionally, and together. Let's take a brief moment of silence to remember and honor those we lost, and to express gratitude for the strength and unity that emerged in the days that followed. Thank you for joining me in that moment. Now, let's move forward together with purpose, clarity, and hope. Today, we're heading into the swamp because it's alligator season. If you've ever felt like your money was cruising along just fine, only to get ambushed by a surprise expense, holiday travel, back to school, summer camps, insurance premiums, or that "how's this already time for Christmas shopping" moment, you know what I mean by alligator expenses. They're the sneaky, seasonal, non-monthly costs that love to bite your spending plan when you're not looking. But here's the truth. Alligator expenses aren't unpredictable. They're just unplanned. And the best gator repellent, time and a proactive plan. So today, we're going to walk through how to spot and forecast your upcoming alligator expenses before they bite, how to use the Alligator Plan to smooth out those financial bumps so you're not scrambling or dipping into debt, and how to build an alligator fund that turns predictable surprises into already handled. Because when you lead your money with intention, you don't just survive the alligator season, you cruise right through it. And if you need a little pop culture motivation, remember, in Jurassic Park, it wasn't the T-Rex that got most people. It was the sneaky velociraptors coming from the side just when you thought you were safe. Alligator expenses are the raptors of your spending plan. But today, we're building a fence they can't jump. So grab your metaphorical clipboard, channel your inner CFO, and let's get into the alligator review and check-in. Spotting the gators, how to identify and forecast your seasonal and holiday expenses. Let's start with a confession. Alligator expenses are the reason most spending plans get bitten. Not because you're bad with money, but because life is full of sneaky, seasonal surprises. If you've ever felt like your plan was humming along just fine, only to get chomped by a holiday trip, a back-to-school shopping spree, or a "how is it already time for new tires" moment, you're not alone. Here's the good news. Alligator expenses aren't random. They're just really good at hiding in the tall grass until you're distracted. But with a little proactive planning and a rhythm of regular check-ins, you can spot them before they strike and turn what used to be a financial ambush into a smooth, stress-free season. Why alligator expenses matter and why most people miss them. Let's get real. Most people don't fail at budgeting because they're reckless. They fail because they're reactive. According to a 2024 study by the Financial Health Network, Americans who proactively plan for non-monthly expenses are twice as likely to avoid overdrafts and credit card debt during the holidays. That's not a math problem, it's a planning problem. Think about it. The holidays roll around every year. So do birthdays, summer camps, annual insurance premiums, and back-to-school shopping. Yet every year, millions of people are caught off guard. Why? Because these expenses don't show up on your monthly bill cycle. They lurk, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. If you've ever had to put Christmas gifts on a credit card or scramble to cover summer camp fees, you've met the alligator. But here's the Triggator truth. Time is the best gator repellent. The earlier you spot these expenses, the more power you have to plan, save, and assign dollars with intention. A quick real-world example. Back to school shopping. Okay, we've just wrapped up back to school season, a classic alligator expense. If you started saving for school supplies and fees back in June, when we first talked about it on the show, you had 3 months of paychecks to spread out that cost. Let's say your total back to school bill was $300. With 3 months, about 6 paychecks, that's just $50 a paycheck. Pretty manageable, right? But if you waited until August to start, now you've got maybe 2 paychecks to cover the same $300. Suddenly it's $150 per paycheck. Ouch. And if you wait until the week before school starts, that's a $300 bite out of a single paycheck. And that's when the gator really chomps down. Now imagine if you started planning for next year's back to school expenses right now in September. You've got a full 12 months, 24 paychecks to spread out the cost. $300 divided by 24, that's just $12.50 per paycheck. That's the power of time. The earlier you start, the smaller the bite. That's how you turn gators into a gecko. Step 1, run your alligator audit. Let's channel our inner CFO and run an alligator audit. This isn't about guilt, it's about clarity. Grab your calendar, your last 12 months of bank statements, and a notepad. We're going gator hunting. Let's first look at a couple of things like maybe the seasons, because some of these things really are seasonal. We'll look at fall and winter. What holidays? There's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. Is there travel, gifts, winter clothes, heating bills, property taxes, insurance renewals? Then maybe look at spring and summer. Summer camps, sport registrations, back to school shopping, home maintenance, car repairs, hello road trips, birthdays, graduations, weddings. Now, let's add in the predictable surprises. Things like annual subscriptions. Is there a software, a streaming service, Amazon Prime, a Costco membership? Do you have insurance premiums that happen twice a year or annually? Maybe it's your auto, your home, or your life insurance. Are there any medical deductibles that you need to plan for if your plan resets in January? Are there school fees, uniforms, extracurriculars? Is there seasonal home or car maintenance, HVAC, snow tires, landscaping? Is there tax prep or accountant fees? Here's a quick pro tip. If you're a parent, check your kid's school calendar for field trips, sports, and fundraisers. If you're a homeowner, look at your annual HOA dues or property tax deadlines. If you're a pet owner, don't forget the annual vet visit or pet license renewal. Remember in Home Alone when Kevin's family is so busy packing and prepping for their trip that they forget the most important thing? The kid? That's what happens when you don't run an alligator audit. You're so focused on the day-to-day that you miss the big, predictable events sneaking up on you. Don't leave your spending plan home alone. Do the head count. Step 2, forecast the bite, estimate and assign. Once you've listed your alligator expenses, it's time to forecast the bite. For each item, estimate the total cost and the due date. Don't worry about perfection, just get close. Holiday gifts, maybe it's $600 that you want to have by December 15th. Summer camp, $400 due June 1st. Car insurance premium, $900 due March 1st. Back to school, $300 due September 1st. Now, count the number of paychecks between now and the due date. Divide the total cost by the number of paychecks. That's your per paycheck assignment. Here's an example. If you have 10 paychecks until Christmas and you want to spend $600 on gifts, that's $60 per paycheck. Assign it now, and when December rolls around, you're ready. No credit card required. Why this works? Behavioral science backs this up. According to a 2024 study by the Financial Health Network, people who assign dollars to upcoming expenses at least 90 days in advance are 3 times more likely to avoid debt and 2 times more likely to stick to their spending plan. Step 3. Build your Alligator Plan. Now that you've estimated and assigned, it's time to build your Alligator Plan. This is your master list of non-monthly, seasonal, and predictable surprise expenses. It's not just a list, it's a map. List each alligator expense. Assign a per paycheck savings amount. Then automate the transfer into a separate alligator fund, something like a savings account. Track your progress with each paycheck. If you're a spreadsheet fan, build a tracker. If you're a pen and paper person, use a notebook. If you're a Triggator app user, get ready for the Alligator Tracker feature that's coming soon with the app. In The Simpsons, Lisa once built a spreadsheet to track her family's behavior, complete with charts and predictions. That's your Alligator Plan. You don't need a Nobel Prize worthy spreadsheet, but you need a system. Because when you track your alligators, assign by paycheck, and automate the savings, you're not just budgeting, you're forecasting. And that's how you lead your money with clarity, not chaos. Step 4. Review and realign. Make it a habit. Spotting alligators isn't a one-time event. It's a rhythm. Set a quarterly reminder to review your Alligator Plan, check for new expenses, adjust for changes, and of course, celebrate your wins. Did you cover all your holiday spending without going into debt? Celebrate. Did a new alligator sneak in like a surprise wedding invite? Add it to the plan. Did you overfund an expense? Reassign the extra into your peace of mind fund or debt payoff. According to a 2025 study by Morning Consult, only 14% of Americans review their spending plan quarterly, but those who do are 4 times more likely to hit their savings goals. That's the power of rhythm. You're the Gator Wrangler now. Alligator expenses aren't out to get you. They're just waiting for you to get distracted. But with a proactive review, a clear plan, and a rhythm of regular check-ins, you can spot them before they bite. Remember, time is your best gator repellent. The earlier you plan, the smoother your season. And when you lead your money with clarity, your spending plan doesn't just survive the alligator season, it thrives. So grab your calendar, run your alligator audit, and start assigning dollars with intention. Because you're not just budgeting, you're building a spending plan that's bite-proof. Smoothing out the bumps. How to use the Alligator Plan for a stress-free season. Let's talk about what happens after you've spotted your alligators and started assigning dollars to them. Because identifying the gators is only half the battle. The real magic happens when you use your Alligator Plan to smooth out the financial bumps before they even throw you off course. If you've ever felt like your money was on a roller coaster, one month you're cruising, the next you're scrambling to cover big expenses, you know how exhausting it can be to live in reaction mode. The Alligator Plan is your ticket off that ride. It's how you move from I hope I have enough to I know I'm covered. It's how you build a spending plan that's not just functional, but peaceful. Why smoothing matters, the psychology of predictability. Let's start with the science. According to a 2024 study by the Financial Health Network, people who automate savings for non-monthly expenses report 40% less financial stress and are twice as likely to describe their finances as under control, compared to those who don't. Why? Because predictability is powerful. When you know what's coming and you know you're ready for it, you can focus on living your life, not dodging financial curveballs. Think of your Alligator Plan as your financial shock absorber. It doesn't stop the bumps from coming, but it makes sure that you glide right over them instead of bottoming out. How the Alligator Plan works in real life. Let's break it down with a story. Imagine it's November. The holidays are coming, your car insurance is due, and your kid's basketball registration just popped up. In the old days, this might have meant a frantic shuffle, cutting back on groceries, skipping a debt payment, or, let's be honest, reaching for the credit card. But this year, you've been running your Alligator Plan. Back in August, you listed out your holiday, insurance, and sports expenses. You divided each by the number of paychecks until the due date. Every payday, you've been moving those small amounts into your Alligator Fund. Now, when that bill hits, you're ready. No panic, no debt, no guilt. That's the power of smoothing. You're not just reacting, you're leading. Remember in Mario Kart when you'd hit a banana peel and spin out? Unless you had a mushroom or a star to recover? That's what your Alligator Fund is. It's your mushroom, your recovery tool, the way that you keep moving forward when the track gets slippery. Because let's be honest, banana peels and alligator expenses are coming. But with margin and planning, you don't spin out, you stay in the race. Let's get clear. At Triggator, your peace of mind funds are the backbone of your spending plan that actually works in real life. They're not just a single emergency fund or a catch-all savings account. Instead, your peace of mind funds are a set of purpose-driven buckets that keep you calm, confident, and ready for whatever life or the next alligator throws your way. Here's how the Triggator Peace of Mind funds break down. Emergency fund. This is your margin, the money you set aside for true emergencies. Think job loss, medical bills, and the kind of car trouble that leaves you stranded, not just inconvenienced. Your emergency fund is your break glass in case of emergency money. Alligator Fund. This is your defense against non-monthly predictable expenses. The alligators we've been talking about. School supplies, holiday gifts, insurance premiums, summer camps, annual subscriptions. If you can see it coming, it belongs here. Fun Fund. Because joy is part of the plan. Your Fun Fund is guilt-free spending that makes your life brighter. Vacations, hobbies, family outings. Retirement Fund. Your future paycheck. Even if you're still building your triangle or paying off debt, starting small here builds the habit and keeps your long-term goals in sight. Just like alligators, time is your best friend with retirement funds. The key: each fund has a job. Each fund gets assigned dollars with intention, and each fund is part of your rhythm. It's reviewed, funded, and celebrated as you go. A 2024 Bankrate survey found that households with at least $500 in dedicated buffer funds were 46% less likely to rely on credit cards or payday loans during a financial shock. That's not just a safety net, it's a confidence booster. The rhythm of smoothing. Make it a habit. Smoothing out the bumps isn't a one-time fix. It's a rhythm. Here's how to make it stick. A quarterly alligator review. Every 3 months, review your Alligator Plan, add new expenses, adjust for changes, and celebrate your wins. Weekly check-ins. Spend 15 minutes each week reviewing your spending plan. Are your Alligator and other peace of mind funds on track? Any new expenses coming up? The Friday Fund habit. Automate your savings every Friday. Even small amounts add up over time. Now, what if you got bitten anyway? Let's be real. Sometimes even the best alligator plan gets chomped. Maybe you underestimated an expense, or a new alligator snuck in. Here's what you do. Don't panic. This isn't failure, it's feedback. Pause and review. What happened? Was it truly unpredictable, or did it just slip through the cracks? Adjust your plan. Add the expense to your Alligator Plan. Reassign dollars as needed. Replenish your emergency fund. If you had to dip into your emergency fund, make a plan to build it back up. Remember, progress beats perfection. Every time you review, adjust, and reassign, you're building a spending plan that fits your life, not just your ideal one. Here's the truth. Most people live in reaction mode, always one step behind the next alligator, but not you. You're building a spending plan that's proactive, peaceful and powerful. You're smoothing out the bumps before they ever throw you off course. So keep running your alligator plan. Keep building your buffer. Keep checking in weekly, quarterly, whenever life shifts. Because every time you assign $1 with intention, you're not just budgeting, you're building peace of mind. And that's how you lead your money with confidence, no matter what season you're in. Building a peace of mind system, how to stay ready for predictable surprises and true emergencies. Let's bring it all together. You've spotted your alligators, you've started smoothing out your bumps, and you're building a spending plan that's more proactive than reactive. But what really sets Triggator listeners apart isn't just having a plan for the known, it's having a system for the unknown. That's where your peace of mind funds come in. Why a system beats a single fund? Most people think of savings as a single bucket, one account that's supposed to cover everything from car repairs to vacations to job loss. But that's like trying to fight off a whole swamp of gators with a single stick. At Triggator, we build a system, 4 distinct peace of mind funds, each with a job, each with a purpose, each giving you confidence that you're ready for whatever comes next. Let's quickly review the 4 peace of mind funds. The emergency fund. Again, that's your margin. This is for true emergencies, job loss, medical bills, major car breakdowns, or anything that would otherwise force you into debt. Start with $500, then build it to $1,000, then 1 month of expenses, and eventually up to 6 months of expenses. This is your sleep at night money. The Alligator Fund, your defense against the predictable but non-monthly expenses, school supplies, holiday gifts, insurance premiums, annual subscriptions, summer camps, birthdays, and more. If you can see it coming, it belongs here. This is your I saw that coming money. Fun Fund, because joy is always part of the plan. Your fun fund is guilt-free spending on the things that make life brighter. Vacations, hobbies, family outings, and some other things that just bring you joy when you save up for them. Assign a small amount each paycheck to keep your plan sustainable and your motivation high. Retirement Fund. This is your future paycheck. Even if you're still building your triangle and paying off debt, starting small here builds the habit and keeps your long-term goals in sight. Every dollar you assign here is a vote for your future freedom. Think of your peace of mind funds like the Avengers. Each one has a unique superpower. The emergency fund is your Captain America, steady, reliable, always ready to shield you from disaster. The Alligator Fund is your Iron Man, strategic, always planning ahead. The Fun Fund is your Thor, bringing the joy and the thunder. And your Retirement Fund, that's your Black Panther, building for the future, investing in legacy. When they all work together, you're unstoppable. What to do when life throws you a curveball? Even with the best system, life can still surprise you. Maybe an alligator expense was bigger than you planned. Maybe you had 2 emergencies at once. Here's what you do. Pause and breathe. This isn't failure, it's feedback. Use your funds as designed. Cover the alligators with the alligator fund. Cover your emergency with your emergency fund. Replenish and realign. Make a plan to rebuild your margin. Adjust your assignments as needed. Reflect and learn. Was this truly unpredictable, or can you plan for it next time? Add it to your alligator plan if it's likely to happen again. Here's the truth. Most people hope for peace of mind. Triggator listeners, build it. You're not just reacting to life surprises, you're preparing for them, 1 paycheck at a time. We're not just saving for someday, we're building a system that works for every season. So keep assigning, keep automating, and keep reviewing. Every dollar that you put in your peace of mind funds is a dollar that builds your future, your freedom, and your confidence. Remember, you're not just budgeting, you're leading your money with clarity, courage, and purpose. That's how you make your spending plan bite-proof and your life a little more joyful, no matter what season you're in. Here's a quick bonus. Some upcoming alligators that will need to be fed. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick alligator roll call, because the best way to avoid the bite is to spot the gator before it gets hungry. Here's a list of upcoming alligators you'll want to start feeding now. Halloween, costumes, class parties, haunted house tickets, and enough candy to keep your dentist in business until spring. Thanksgiving, travel, even if it's just across town, extra groceries for the big meal, and maybe a new stretchy pair of pants for the post-turkey nap. December holidays, the granddaddy of all alligators, Christmas, gifts, travel, neighbor treats, Santa pictures, charitable giving, keepsake ornaments, and your Griswold level exterior illumination. If you know, you know. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and other celebrations, more gifts, more food, more joy, and yes, more expenses. New Year's, party supplies, special dinners, maybe a hotel or a rideshare if you're celebrating out. Valentine's Day, cards, flowers, dinner out, or just a little extra to show someone you care. And remember, time is your best gator repellent. The earlier you start feeding these alligators, even if it's just a few dollars per paycheck, the less likely they are to take a bite out of your peace of mind. So look ahead, assign those dollars, and keep your spending plan bite-proof all season long. You made it to the end of Alligator Review and Check-In. And if you're still here, you're not just listening, you're leading. You've learned how to spot the gators, soothe out the bumps, and build your peace of mind system that keeps your spending plan bite-proof all year long. Remember, every dollar you assign with intention is a dollar that builds your future. Every alligator you feed now is one less surprise waiting to chomp your plan later. And every time you check in, review, and realign, you're building a rhythm that turns chaos into clarity. Today's challenge is simple but powerful. Pick one upcoming alligator from our bonus list, whether it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, or Valentine's Day, and start feeding it now. Estimate your total cost. Count the number of paychecks until that expense hits. Divide it and assign that amount to your alligator fund each paycheck, and then automate it as you can. Even if it's just $5 or $10, start now, because time is your best gator repellent. The earlier you start, the smaller the bite. If this episode helped you spot a lurking alligator or gave you a new sense of peace about an upcoming season, I want to hear about it. Email me at podcast@Triggator.com or send me a message on social @Triggator on Instagram, Facebook, or X. And if you're ready to keep your spending plan bite-proof, follow the show so you never miss a chance to feed your next alligator. Leave a review, especially if this episode helped you ditch the panic and lead with clarity. Share this episode with a friend who's tired of getting chomped by surprise expenses. And of course, follow @Triggator for behind-the-scenes content, encouragement, and a few memes that might just make your day. Next time, ever wish you could put your money on autopilot without losing control? In our next episode, The Automation Advantage, How to Put Your Money on Autopilot Without Losing Control, we'll break down the practical ways to automate your finances using the Triggator framework. You'll learn what to automate and what not to for maximum impact, how to avoid common automation pitfalls and stay in the driver's seat, and how automation can support your Triggator triangle and bring you more peace of mind. Ready to make your money work for you even while you're asleep? Tune in next time and let's put your finances on autopilot. Remember, you're not just building a spending plan, you're building a system that works for your real life in every season. So lead with clarity, feed your alligators early, and keep moving forward. One paycheck, one plan, one peaceful step at a time. Thanks for listening to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. See you next time.